Hello, patrons! I started
Hi.
and you were drinking your can. You were drinking your tin.
So sneaky.
Welcome to the Q&A, the great never-ending Q&A episode...
12?
You were paying attention.
I was paying attention.
Good
I
work.
always pay attention.
Do you know what this is the sound
Thank
of?
you very much.
That's the sound of a gin in the tin.
Ooh.
I have got one myself, not
Cheers
just for
to
you.
that.
Cheers, and cheers to you. I'm sorry it's taken us so long. This is our first, proper check-in with you since we got back from Japan.
Oh my god.
You're lucky we're back.
I know.
To be honest, if I could, I would move there tomorrow and I would stay
That's the
there
thing.
forever.
If we would have gone when I was a little bit younger, not that I'm old. There's a man sitting next to me on the bus today, by the way, who asked
I have
me
not
how
heard this
old
story.
I
I'm
was.
intrigued. Sorry.
Well, we struck up a conversation because the bus.
What? Did you show him this? Were you like, excuse
was-
me, mister, you need to back the F
He
off,
was checking it
son.
out. He was an older gentleman. We'll put it that
I
way.
know you like that. I know you like that.
Anyway, we struck up a conversation because the bus basically has been diverted away from this road, and it's going to be annoying, and it's supposed to be like that for a year, and it sucks. But the bus went down the normal road today, even though it wasn't supposed to be open until like another 6 months.
Wow.
And we were both like, and then the woman in front of us was like, "Did we just go down?"
And
then
the whole bus
yeah.
erupted into like,
No. And
Were
the
you also a
three-
bit scared you were about to go down a hole?
A little bit, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, either this is good or the bus driver has just completely lost it and we're going the wrong way. But anyway, we had a nice conversation after that, and then I was just like looking at my phone. And then he may have had a couple of drinks. But in the way
So
that...
you got chatted up by a drunk old man on the... Are you leaving me? Please don't leave me live on Patreon.
I've got my old drunk old man.
That's me. She means me.
But anyway, we would like chat for a minute and then it would kind of dissipate, and then, we'd look out the window and then he'd be like, "How old are you?" It's like, not that old. But anyway, this story came up because of Japan, and I wanted to say that if I was younger...
Wait, that's your story?
Yeah.
The most exciting part of that story was basically when the bus went the wrong way.
Yeah, well, at the end, he shook my hand and asked me my name and wished me a good day. It was really nice. But anyway, if I was actually younger, then I would want to just stay in Japan forever.
Yeah, and now you're too old.
That's
They won't
the
let you
story.
in.
No, now I'm too old and I can't make the kinds of decisions I used to make when I was like 19.
Yeah, you
Which
can.
literally involved like moving to another country because I could, and I thought I could make it work.
I'm not sure you can just move to Japan. That's the thing.
I know.
You need a job. They're quite strict, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are actually.
Yeah. But anyway, we had an amazing time. You've seen a lot of the photos. I haven't seen all the photos, actually. Maybe we should post some more.
I need to work on that.
Yeah, and you saw like some of the places we stayed and some of the things we did. I was like, oh, actually, do you want to quickly run and get some of the cool merc that we bought?
Merc?
Yeah, I say merc because, like, for me,
Merch.
yeah, merch. I know, but like the cool merch. Wait, before
The
we
cool
will do the
merch.
Q&A. Hang on. I want to show you my favorite piece of merch that we got.
Okay. Taliesin's getting some merch. I don't know what it is. We shall see.
Okay, I got two that I really like. Some Japan merch. We bought like proper stuff as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, but
yeah.
I like my Fuji-san.
Fuji-san!
This is Mount Fuji.
This is literally Mount Fuji
But you know,
personified. Isn't he amazing?
and he's glorious. And my favorite thing we got was also at Mount Fuji, or within sight of Mount Fuji, and it's lazy egg, but lazy egg in a black shell. Because when you're at Mount Fuji, you have to eat black eggs.
Yeah, it's in it's close to Mount Fuji. Is I think it's called like Kawai Kaduni, and it's oh my god.
Makes me so happy.
And basically, like, the sulfur springs come up out of the ground, and it's really intense. It's crazy. It's so sci-fi. But, like, because of the hot springs and the sulfur, you get these black eggs. I mean, they're just black because they're cooked in sulfur. And you eat them, and they're good luck.
They're so good. You eat them hard boiled,
Yeah.
and they've got like a natural saltiness to them.
Yeah,
You
but
don't need to add salt. They
Yeah.
taste so good.
They're really nice. And for every egg you eat, you gain, I think, 7 years on your life.
I had 3.
So there you go.
So I might make it to 60 now.
But yeah, but of course, they would have lazy egg merchandise that was relevant to
And
the
black
location.
shelled. And we love lazy egg at the worst of times. But this is the best of times. Look. So good. We did other proper stuff as well while we were there.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We ate some of the best food I've ever eaten in my life. It was amazing. But that's quite enough of that. Bounty Crasher, you've been waiting a very long time to have your question answered, and my apologies. Hey guys, first of all, Happy New Year!
Wow!
You have made my last year so much sweeter. I owe you my deepest thanks for that. As for my question, I feel like every expansion has a limited space on the stage for the incredible amount of great characters in WoW. I think it's fine that everyone gets their specific time in the spotlight. For example, Gallywix and Mechatalk both making a return. Do you want a specific character to finally get some more attention? There are some old characters, but also have a lot of newly introduced ones from BFA. I personally adore Loti and Ral, even though poor old Bane could use a bit more story than he received lately. Thank you for all your heartwarming content. Until next time. P.S. I love your intro sound. It's been stuck in my head for so long. yes, the Pilot Wings sound. That's what it is. Pilot Wings SNES.
It is.
Pick it up. Play it. It's a great game if you haven't played it. Characters that I would like to see given a bit more time. Oh no, go on.
You love Rosaline, of course.
I do love Rosaline.
And she's gotten more spotlight.
She has. Although it doesn't seem to be popping up in 8.2.
No.
Which is a bit of a shame. I feel like she's just chilling out on the boat, which you called
Tiffin's Melody.
And I also called Tiffin's Melody, even though I didn't really want to.
I know.
I wanted to call mine Dawn Seeker.
It's a nice one. Dawn Seeker is good.
I wish I had called it Dawn Seeker, if I'm perfectly honest. But you can't not call it Tiffin's Melody, because you're taking it to Anduin. It's a present for Anduin. You've got to call it, like, in this case, I put his feelings ahead of mine, and I kind of regret it. So yeah, I'd like to see more Rosalind. That'd be awesome. And as far as, like, older characters, I think I would have said Sourfang before this expansion.
Yeah.
So I'm having a great old time.
Yeah, you must be loving this one.
So I'm going to say Bolvar.
Oh.
The Lich King.
Oh, wow.
And I'd like to see some kind of character stuff with him, which is kind of beyond Lich King. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'd like to see him, how he's dealing with being the Lich King in quite a human way, but he's been Lich King longer than anyone else now.
Yeah.
People forget this. He's the longest serving Lich King. Like, he is probably even more given over to the Lich than anyone was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So it's a tough one, but I don't know. So I'd probably say Bolvar, yeah.
Nice. I want to see more of Rathian.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the dragons, right?
Yeah.
It's time for the dragons. And also, what's Khadgar up to? Like, come on, buddy.
Khadgar's just sitting in a Karazhan like this.
Like,
looking at pictures of when the Horde and Alliance were friends. Like,
I know, right?
Do you remember artifact weapons?
I miss him.
Yeah.
And I miss his corny jokes, and I miss making jokes about him in our show.
Yeah, me too.
Back
we
when
don't
he
have
was
reason
relevant.
enough. Yeah,
I know.
right.
Now
he's
literally
relevant
just a
anymore.
floating head.
People don't get the joke anymore.
They don't. They're like, who's that?
People were like tweeting us going, have you seen they've put a Wondrous Wisdom Ball in Hearthstone? Yeah. Is that a reference to you guys?
No.
It's like, no! The joke is so old that people don't get it anymore.
No.
It's really sad. It breaks my little heart.
It kills me.
I'm going to join him in Karazhan. Just
yeah.
The sad
That's
clown.
what I'm going to do too.
I'll start a new character, play through Legion all over again.
Nice.
Yes, so good. Well, we got a good smattering of characters there.
Good mix.
Yeah, awesome. I might have even said Thrall as well before recently. if we'd answered this question when it was asked,
oh, could you imagine?
I might have said Thrall. So who knows? Imagine answering a question on the Q&A like within 5 months of it being asked. No, we're gonna be better on this stuff from now on. Look, we are 9 minutes in, under 10 minutes in. That sounds better.
And we've
already got through the first question.
There we go.
Look,
okay,
we're already on to question 2, and this question is 2 questions in 1. So we're going to get through 3, really.
Wow. Okay. From Justin Bardle, aka Vegnan. Hey guys, 2 questions. 1, I very recently, about a week ago, played through BioShock Infinite for the first time and was so absolutely blown away by the story and character interaction that I nearly cried full-grown man tears all over my keyboard.
We've all been there.
Are either of you familiar with the series? If so, did you enjoy it? If not, why? P.S. It was through this game that I discovered voice actor Troy Baker, who not only voiced Booker DeWitt with an actual guitar solo in BioShock Infinite, sick, but also voiced Joel from The Last of Us, another gem I have yet to play.
Okay, so haven't played BioShock. Have you? I haven't played any Bioshock, which
Me neither.
I'm aware makes my video game
I
credentials
know.
like non-existent.
Because apparently they're amazing.
But I had a Spectrum 48K, okay? So I'm a proper video game person. That's a fact.
Okay.
No, haven't played it, but would love to. Would love to. And it's not even a game. I don't even know the twist.
Me neither.
I know there's a twist in Bioshock Infinite, but I don't know what it is. And for me to have gone this whole time without
no
learning the
idea.
twist, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't play it. I don't think
Fair.
it'll take very long to get through these days either. So the reason, okay, I started streaming today,
Okay.
and I was half an hour late streaming.
Oh.
Because I couldn't get the stream to work. I wasn't getting like any internet.
Oh.
And that was because I realised I was downloading a game on Steam.
What game was it?
Witcher 3.
But you've already played Witcher 3.
I'm going to play it again. Because now I've got a really good computer, so I can have
Good.
the graphics up to full.
Thank you. I'm ready for you to finish The Witcher 3.
But now I've got like... now I can play it on max settings.
Yeah.
Because not only have I got a top-notch PC, but it's quite far away from when it was actually released.
Okay.
And I
There you
like
go.
that when I play an older game like Bioshock Infinite or something, I can whack all of the settings up to full, and
There
it
you
makes me
go.
feel amazing.
That's okay.
So like
yeah.
that's like a genuine reason for me to play like older games. It
Yeah.
makes me feel really good because I
Okay.
couldn't have played them in that way in the
Okay.
first place.
That's legit.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah. So I will. I'm sorry I haven't played Bioshock, and we haven't played The Last of Us either.
I know.
But we have sat in bed,
Yeah.
spending hours watching like a playthrough of it.
Yeah, like full playthroughs of The Last of Us.
Yeah, so we haven't played it,
And
but we've watched it.
Just hours of watching it.
We watched-
Not even streams, just on YouTube.
Yeah, we watched the Joseph
Straight up.
Anderson video on it,
Yeah,
series on it.
yes.
Yeah, and it was awesome, and it was great. So, like, I haven't played it. I've never actually made a character move a single inch
No.
in The Last of Us, but I do know The Last of Us very well, and I have watched it,
It
and it's
has
great.
moved me
And
deeply.
I'm very much looking forward to The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm excited about that game.
Good stuff.
It looks really great. Right, part 2, Taliesin. I've heard you casually mention fellow World of Warcraft enthusiast Bajira on occasion, another one of my favourite Twitch streamers and YouTube content creators. Are you a fan of his? If so, have you met him in real life? Thanks, guys. Proud to be a supporter. Thank you, Justin. Awesome to have you here, and thank you for the amazing questions. I say amazing. They didn't amaze me, but they were good questions.
They were very
and
good.
I'm enjoying answering them. We've never met Bajira.
No, we haven't, actually.
And the reason I said it in that tone of voice, because he's like one of the very few kind of creators that we haven't met at this
Yeah.
stage. Like in BlizzCon or something. I kind of get the feeling that Bajira is very much his own kind of thing. He's not as like connected in with the whole like web of content creators like some others are.
Also, he does PvP.
Yeah,
Like, and that is another world. Like, PvP.
it is. Yeah, I guess so. I guess
so.
so.
He does PvP and games. Like, you know?
Bajira videos are like some of my favorite videos to put on when I'm working.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
genuinely,
they're great.
I think they're awesome. I think
Yeah,
they're
they're
awesome.
super
And I've
cool.
been following like his marriage and his new house
And
and
his
his baby
baby.
like for the last couple of years, like closely from afar, but closely.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I am a fan of him. Are you a fan of me? Would you
I'm
say?
definitely a fan.
Yeah. Okay, so we
And
are
of
fans.
Warcraft Gen. But yeah,
Officially
we've never
fans.
actually met.
No, never have. I'm sure they don't even know who we are. And
Probably not.
Maybe one day we'll ruin their lives and introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't feel like Bajir is much of a big drinker.
No.
You don't get a bod like that by drinking gin in a tin. That's what I'm saying. I made my choice. I stick to it. How do you think you say this name?
Xie.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you can read the question.
At least I think so. I don't know, like, my Chinese isn't great, but that's how I would say it. If I had to guess. Thanks so much for all you do. I love the content and the obvious effort you put into creating your videos and the time spent posting to us here on Patreon, which will increase. I happen to be wearing my shit show t-shirt as I type this, in fact. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. I love you.
So, Hazelnutty Games.
It increases your DPS, by the way. A shit show t-shirt.
Oh, obviously.
Increases your DPS by about 10%.
Yeah, sounds about
yeah.
right. So Hazelnutty Games has DBM voice pack, a definite change from Runaway Little Girl Runaway. Any chance of a T&E DBM voice pack coming soon to a raid near us?
So funny, right? Because this question is 5 months old. So, I mean, you could have done a night school degree in the time it's taken us to answer this question.
Probably, yeah.
by complete chance, someone mentioned this on stream yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Like
Other people have mentioned it before.
Hazelnutty Games ones, in particular, which made me think it was quite new, and which made me think that Hazelnutty had just done it. But now I'm learning that it's at least 5 months old.
There you go. I think we should do it. What do we have to do?
What do we have to actually? It's been mentioned to us many times by people that would be willing to make it happen.
Okay.
Do you remember in our first BlizzCon, it was kind of brought up as a thing that we should do.
Okay. We got to make this happen.
But
now.
then you have all the amazing things of thinking, like, how many catchphrases do we have and what would we say in various bits. So obviously when there was a wipe, you'd want to go, it's a shit show, obviously.
Right.
You know, and obviously for the countdown, maybe you could have your voice because it's a female voice in the countdown. And you go 10. 9.
Yeah.
And then go, okay, go.
Yeah, right at the end. Okay.
Yeah. It'd be really good.
Nice.
Yeah. And for ready check, you could be like, downvote the shit out of it.
See, I don't want to pepper it too much with catchphrases. I think that's kind of kitschy and
I'm
lame.
spreading the catchphrases pretty thin.
I think it's kind of lame, but I think we should definitely have the shit show one and then just having, just like our voices in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it, is it? That's all you give it. That's all the personalization you give it.
Wait, hold on. Your DBM counts down in a female voice.
Yeah.
And then mine counts down in a dude's voice, like a really nasal guy's voice.
Oh, really?
It's like 5, 4.
No, mine does not do.
3,
Maybe you've got the
2,
nasal man
1.
voice pack.
Yeah, I clearly do.
Well, you need to get.
I didn't specifically download it.
I think we know what we've decided. You need to get Hazelnutty's voice pack. Because that'd be great. I bet it's really relaxing.
Oh my god, I'd love to get it.
Apparently she goes a bit crazy when you're standing and stuff, but I'm sure the rest of the time it would just be really nice. It would be like, oh, you wiped, but never mind.
Yes, I love it.
I think it'd be awesome.
And the next comment is actually, saying this needs to be upvoted so much I download the shit out of this. So
okay,
I think we're gonna have to make this happen.
We'll look into it, and if we do make it,
we
will tell patrons about it before anyone else.
Nice.
And maybe you'll be able to download it before anyone else even
exclusive.
knows about it. Yeah. It wouldn't be able to stay patron exclusive.
No, but it could start that way.
But we could definitely start that way. Because obviously it'd be free or anything. So we can make it patron exclusive. It's also not something that, like,
Oh, yeah.
No, because that's against patron terms of service. So, anyway. So it would be free and it would be awesome. It would completely work.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good
idea. We'll
Love
make
it.
it happen eventually. Okay, that's the kick I needed to make it happen.
There you go.
Yeah. Who would you have a voice pack from if you could choose a voice pack from anyone?
Oh, whose voice do I want to listen to all day apart from yours?
Do you know who I would have?
Who?
Werner Herzog.
Oh my god! Yes!
I would have a Werner Herzog DBM pack.
Okay, I take it back. I was going to say Idris, but...
Idris would be brilliant. Be like, oh mate, you're standing in something there, mate.
Yeah. All right, now, 5, 4. Like, he'd be like... Really,
yeah, he'd be like, actually, I've changed my mind. I want Idris. And then Werner Herzog would just be like, why are we counting down?
Yeah.
What does it achieve?
Why do we count when... No, wait, what is the Herzog voice? I can't do it now.
I don't do a very good Herzog impression, unfortunately. But I think I want a Werner Herzog one, but actually I want an Idris Elba.
No, I actually want the Werner Herzog one.
We swapped. We changed our opinions.
We did.
That's how great we are.
Yeah.
I admitted I was wrong and I changed my opinion.
Yeah.
No, but the Idris one would be amazing.
It would be so good.
Everyone ready or what? It'd be so cool.
Yeah. No, the Herzog one would be like, to count would be like to approach infinity or God. 5. like it would just be like this.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh.
I think that'd be really good.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Oh.
We've come up with some good ones there. Okay.
Next one.
Lumpy Piers Morgan. Hi folks, I love the content, been watching from the start, blah blah blah, etc etc. Anyway, my question is this: what does the perfect day look like to you?
Now, is this like a realistic day in my life? And is this like what is kind of a nice day in your everyday, or is it like what is the ultimate day? Because those are two different questions. Because, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is probably what's your perfect like day to day.
Okay.
And what's it like?
Well, maybe you can do both. What's your perfect day today, and what's your like dream day?
Oh, see, I'm not even gonna talk
Because
about my dream
well,
day.
the thing is, you're already married to me, so
Exactly.
you couldn't do it again.
Every day is a dream day. So, my perfect day is I wake up in the morning without feeling tired, hungover, or grumpy, and probably do some stretches and just feel great, and then make myself a nice cup of coffee, not burnt, because that's the worst. And then could go to work. Could be a nice day. Could be. Ideally, though, I would just sit around and read books all day.
Just a book reading day.
Yeah, just
Good
book
day.
reading day, and then I'd cuddle with my husband, and we'd get a nice meal together, and yeah, that's a good day for me.
Sounds like a good day.
Yeah, what about you?
Completely different. A good day for me is a day where I just got a video out the night before.
Nice.
So I mean, I could make another video if I wanted, but I don't have to. There's no pressure.
There you go.
I like that.
I like that.
That's a good day. I like it to be genuinely early on in the week.
Mm-hmm.
I feel more relaxed early on in the week than I do later on in the week.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you ever get like Sunday anxiety?
Everyone does, I think.
Yeah,
Everyone
exactly.
who does any kind of
Well,
work on Mondays.
I have literally no reason to have Sunday anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I'm freelance. I work on my own time. Like I don't have that kind of setup. But I still have Sunday anxiety from school.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
Sunday anxiety
It's
that
like
I feel.
built into you,
Yeah,
isn't
it's a hangover literally from school. Still.
Yeah. You
And-
probably also feel mine a little bit too.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It does emanate from you. So yeah, it would be early on in the week. It would be an autumn day. My ideal day would be an autumn day,
Ooh, nice.
and
nice.
I would, and it would be not very sunny. It would be crisp, but it wouldn't be like bright necessarily.
Yeah.
So because I like being indoors.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it wasn't a summer's day and I was down the beach, because that would also be a type of
That would also
perfect
be a
day.
really good
but
day.
assuming it's like a in the house day,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like it to be quite dark outside, so I feel good about being in the house.
And a little bit of drizzle.
But of course, I'd get up early.
A little bit of rain.
Yeah, I'd get up really early because I like getting up early, but I
Yeah.
never do. And I'd walk out the door and I'd be going to get a coffee, and then there'd be a little bit of drizzle in the air. It'd
At
be
what
amazing.
point do you cuddle me?
Well, I've given you a cuddle before I got up,
Okay, cool.
obviously,
Okay.
and I've had a shower, and I'm all
Nice.
clean, and I'm dressed in like a really sharp jacket,
Nice.
and I go out to get us both a coffee
Nice.
because you're tired from the cuddling.
Of course.
And you're like, oh, get me a coffee. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I go out and I bring us back 2 coffees, and we sit in bed, and maybe we're like, hey, should we watch a fucking movie?
Oh my god, yes, this is
And
such
we watch
a nice
a movie,
day.
and by the time the movie's over, because I got up so early, it's
Yeah.
not even midday.
Oh my god, I love
So I'm like, so we both get up then, and then it's not even midday yet. It's still like this beautiful
Yes.
autumn
Yes.
day,
Yes.
and then we go to the cinema or a play,
Nice.
and it's a matinee.
Nice.
So again, by the time it's done, but before we do that, we have like a lunch with a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Because if you can have a bottle of wine with lunch, that is a proper day right
That
there.
is a good day. Oh,
That's a
this
really
day
good
is
day. And then, so by the time like the film or the play is over, we come out and it's not even like dinner time yet. You know? And then my parents just so happen to be in town and they swing by and say hi. And
Do we all get dinner together?
yeah, maybe, or maybe they've got other stuff to do.
Okay.
You know, but either way, we'll see how we feel. And then we're like, I don't know why, but we have dinner, and we're like, I don't know why, but I'm so awake right now. We should go somewhere. We should do something. And we do, and I don't know what, but something spontaneous that I haven't thought of that I couldn't possibly plan, because if I
course.
did plan it,
It wouldn't
be
be as fun.
perfect.
This is such a good day.
Isn't that a good day?
Oh, I love that day.
Yeah.
Let's have that day.
Yeah, yeah. And then at the end of the day, you're like, will you teach me how to paint Citadel miniatures? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
That would still be a great
You're
day
like,
for me.
will you teach me how to play Blood Bowl? Will you watch Akira with me and talk me through it as we go, telling me all the bits that you like and don't like about it? Perfect day.
Great day.
What an interesting question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be really
Oh,
cool. Gretella.
Gratella. Okay, but when is Tally going to start doing video essays? His cinematic analysis videos are always on point. I agree.
Wow, that's nice of you to say.
I
So when
agree.
you say doing video essays, do you mean like nerd writer style?
I think that's probably what they mean.
I don't think I'd be very good at them.
I think they're very...
I don't think I'd be very good at them. Like the cinematic analysis I do are pretty GCSE standard.
Yeah, but so
Like
are nerd
media
writer
studies.
videos.
That's true, actually. Well, what topic would I do them on?
On any topic that strikes your fancy.
Would I be like, Blood Bowl is more than just a board game?
No, you'd be like, this is why saying that Spartans are bi is not virtue signaling.
Nerd Writer would not make that.
Well,
video.
it would be like Nerd Writer, but it would obviously be a bit political if it were you.
Oh, I'm trying to get away from all that.
Says the man who very rightfully so goes after shitheads on the internet.
I know, but I
On
shouldn't
Twitter.
do that.
I
shouldn't do
know.
that. It wastes my time.
It does waste your time.
I could have written a
But
play today.
It doesn't.
and I
It does a
didn't.
public good. It does a service, but it is also wasting your time.
It
a
is
little
wasting
bit.
my time. I could have spent making sandwiches or something.
You
Like
could've-
something useful.
Yeah.
I could have made you a sandwich,
I
but I
would've
didn't because I was arguing with
loved
idiots
that.
on the internet.
Yeah, you were.
I'm sorry. I'm such an idiot, and I will turn over a new leaf.
No,
and
you
I will do
won't.
better things. No. My nerd writer videos would be about Blood Bowl and Akira and Vampire the Masquerade.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it'd be great, but they would take a long time to make, and no one would watch them, and it'd make me feel sad.
That's not true. I'd watch them.
When you make a video essay, like a nerd writer essay, you have to be delivering some universal truth that no one's thought of before.
Yeah.
That's how you have to sell it, and I don't care.
I don't like
enough.
that. I don't like that form. I like that format in some ways, but I also disagree with a lot of his videos. So I'm a bit like,
Yeah. But
Anyway.
I reckon we could both, if we thought about it, we could do that.
I'd love to do videos like that. That's kind of how my brain works. My brain works in essays.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
another thing is though that and this sounds like I'm just saying it, but it's actually true. The Warcraft cinematics are so good, like they're so tightly packed,
Yeah.
and they're so efficient from like a filmmaking perspective. Like they put so many references in there, and there's always enough to talk about in like a 4-minute thing,
Yeah.
without kind of having to go over the top or anything. And it's comes from a place which is so specific and has so much history and lore that you need to explain and stuff as well.
Yeah.
That I mean, really, there's nothing else like them, to be perfectly honest. So, and that's why I enjoy it, because they are so interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not sure. Who knows? Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Why not?
Adriel Abreu. How do I say that name? Adriel, I'm so sorry.
Adriel Abreu.
Abreu, that's much better. Do you want to handle this one?
T&E. Hello from the land where 200 milliseconds
Oh,
is
no.
standard.
Oh, mate.
Brazil. Oh.
So, Adriel, I want you to know it hasn't taken us 4 months to answer this question. It's just your lag, mate.
Yeah. I would like to know the following: Blur or Oasis?
Oh, we were literally just
We
talking
were
about this the other day.
Yeah, we had a pretty in-depth conversation. Okay. As an American, as someone who just discovered these things on my own, Blur. I know. But Blur, it's always going to be Blur for me. And I don't actually know Oasis well enough to judge this properly, but I love Blur.
I'd be really interested, Adriel, to know your age, because I think Evertel is a really good example of someone that has come to it after the event. And I think if I was coming to it now,
Yeah.
I would go Blur as well.
Yeah.
But I was there at the time.
Okay.
Okay, so I remember it all happening.
Okay.
And it was just when I was getting into music as well.
All right.
I was
yeah,
into the
yeah.
Beatles,
You
and that was
have
pretty
to
much the only
choose.
band
You
that
have
I was
to choose
into.
a side, yeah.
And I remember in like 94 when all this stuff was going down, 95 when all this stuff was going down. And I remember I had a cassette tape of the first Oasis album, which my
Nice.
friend Adam had made me.
Nice.
And I listened to that. That was like one of those, you know, when you have like a cassette tape which just becomes, and you have one album that you just listen to over and over and over again forever.
Yep.
And that was it.
Aw.
That was the first Oasis album, and I used to listen to that while I was painting my Citadel miniatures.
Aw.
And that was an evening for me. I'd play Mario Kart on the SNES till I got angry, and then I would calm myself down by painting Citadel miniatures, like all night, listening to that tape. like over and over and over again.
Do you want to know what my first cassette tape was?
Yeah.
It was the soundtrack to Imagine, the documentary about John Lennon. So it wasn't
It's
even a
very
John
nice.
Lennon album. It was a soundtrack to a documentary.
Did it have John Lennon songs on it?
It was all John Lennon songs.
Was it the album Imagine?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was the soundtrack to the documentary Imagine.
Okay, interesting.
Which draws from the album Imagine,
I guess it would.
but also covers his other
I
stuff.
didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I got that one from the library and I literally wore it away. It just fell apart because I listened to it so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
So back to the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am Team Oasis,
Ooh.
and because I always thought it was Blur that started that rivalry.
Did they?
It was Blur that moved their release dates. I think they moved Country House to clash with Wonderwall. I might have got this wrong, but that's how I remember it in my head. Okay, so in my head they moved Country House to clash with Wonderwall, and Country House got to number 1, or maybe it was Charming Man. It was one of those two.
Okay.
And they moved it to clash with Wonderwall, and it got to number 1, and Wonderwall got to number 2. So that was like Blur won the Britpop war.
Ooh.
But then, of course, Oasis brought out What's the Story Morning Glory, the album,
Yeah.
which was so much better than Blur's album that they brought out, and like is one of the all-time great like Britpop records, like a genuinely good record. Like
Okay.
when I listen to Oasis now, because I went through a phase of then going, oh, all of those bands are terrible.
Yeah.
But when I listen to Oasis now, I'm surprised by how rocky they are, and how
Yeah, actually.
in your face they are, and
Actually,
how
yeah.
cool they are,
Yeah.
how glam they are. Like there are like proper elements of late 70s British glam in there, which I'd never noticed before. Like some really good stuff. And like that's such a good album that won the war for Oasis as far as I'm concerned. But now in posterity, obviously Blur went on to do more good albums after that as well. But no one, Blur or Oasis, ever got close to What's the Story Morning Glory.
Wow.
Fact.
Wow.
So I like Blur better probably as a band and as people overall.
Yeah.
But What's the Story Morning Glory wins it for me.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's my own personal opinion.
Because the question continues. Especially Tally, since he is from the UK, I believe you grew up during the Britpop war between the two bands.
I did.
I especially am one for Team Blur.
I meant Blur. I meant the Blur one. I'm Team Blur. Team Blur.
I even managed to go to a Blur show in 2013 in my country after the band reunited. Amazing. I couldn't pass the chance, even if that meant going alone, because I knew they would never return.
So I went to Reading Festival in I think 1999.
Nice.
Which this gives away my age because it was after my GCSEs. So maybe it was even 1998. I can't remember. I got my GCSE results and I got in a minibus with some of my best friends, like Adam and Mile and Owen and people like that. And we went to Reading Festival and like because we were punk rockers by then. And they had a good punk and we saw Rage Against the Machine.
Cool.
We saw Deftones.
Nice.
We saw Limp Bizkit, Slipknot. It was a good year for rock that year. We saw some good bands. We saw the Super Suckers. It was amazing. And Oasis were headlining. And I went to see Oasis by myself because no one else wanted to see them. And I thought, I can't pass up the opportunity to see Oasis play. I cannot pass it up. And you know who everyone else went to see?
Who?
Muse.
Yeah.
I know, and I regret it to this day but Muse only had one album out at that point. It was their first album, which sounded like a rubbish Radiohead album.
Yeah.
It was before Muse were really good.
Yeah.
It was before like any of their good songs or albums.
so
I was
funny.
like, Muse, they're just a bad Radiohead band.
So
I went
funny.
to see Oasis
Oh
instead.
my God.
And as they played Live Forever, which is my favourite Oasis song, there was literally an electric thunderstorm behind them on the horizon with lightning and shit. And it was awesome.
Nice.
And I don't regret it. There's not a day goes by where I regret that choice that I made. Even though going to see Muse before like their second album came out would have been really
that
cool.
That would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I hope that answers your question.
But then, of course, you got to see Muse at BlizzCon, so there you go.
Well, yeah, actually, and that was legit.
That was
a good gig. Muse
I
at BlizzCon were
love that.
brilliant.
I love that. I remember we were sitting in a bit of a section, and there were like some people in front of us who were kind of into it, and I was like,
Yeah!
I was literally like on my seat, like standing on it. And it was so cool.
Best possible
hearing
BlizzCon band for me.
Matt
Muse.
Bellamy sing in person,
Yeah.
because it's like it really makes you appreciate when someone is actually a really good performer and
Yeah.
singer.
Oh,
Because
they
I
were
was like,
great.
how do you do that with your voice?
There were very few bands I would bother to going to see at BlizzCon.
Same.
But Muse, there was never any question. I was like, yeah, we're going to see Muse.
Yeah.
Yes, mate. It was so good. Vico Elo. We have this every time your name crops up. I'm really sorry. What are some emotes you'd love to see? I'd personally love a dab emote. Oh, you mean in-game WoW emotes?
Oh,
Can you imagine if there was a dab emote? Oh my goodness.
what about a twerk emote?
I'd like to see a virtue signal emote.
Stop it. I'd like to see I'd really like to see a fist bump emote that you can only do if you're doing it with someone.
That would be cool. So it was
Right,
like
we
an
do-
actual animation.
Yeah, like a little like the
Wow, yeah. Oh, it's pretty cool. It's pretty street.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
RPers would love that because they could RP like drug deals and stuff going
Yeah,
down.
exactly. You could do so many things with
That'd
two
be
hands
so cool.
bumping against each other.
I would like a cancel emote, as in like a cancel culture emote. So it would just be like someone would say something in Raid, and it'd be just a bit off or whatever, and you'd just be like, "Alan has been cancelled."
Ah, nice. That's nice.
I think it'd be really cool.
A cancel emote is good.
Yeah, and everyone else in the Raid just shakes their head when you do it.
Yeah.
Alan has been cancelled.
Another one that would be amazing for RP, but probably will definitely never happen at any point, is someone just like taking a little drag and just going.
That's never gonna happen.
But it could express so many emotions without actually.
Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, that'd be good.
Right?
I'm trying to think of something else that gets the same sort of effect, but
Yeah,
interesting.
You could use it after, a hot and heavy RP session. You could use it when you're just kind of like annoyed. You could use it when you're chilling out. You could use it when you're waiting for your raid leader to do anything.
Yeah.
Be useful.
Lucas Holmquist. So when you guys aren't making videos or something, do you guys accidentally call each other Tally and Evie? I do it more than you do.
Yeah, I never call it
I call you Evie all the time.
Yeah.
And also to people who like aren't anything to do with the channel. Because I'm always like very aware of calling you Evie, so I don't accidentally call you by your real name.
Yeah.
Sometimes just in general conversation, because sometimes I will go through a day literally having called you Evie more than I've called you your real name.
Yeah.
And so I'm then carrying on a conversation with someone, and I go, oh, and Evie is doing this, and then I do
and
it all
if
the
we're
time.
hanging out with our guilds, like in real life, for example, like I'm kind of just Evie.
Yeah, because you're clever because that's the only character you have
Exactly,
in the
like
guild.
that's my character name as well. So
Because my character name in the guild is Myth,
Yeah,
Myth
so it's just
Amwee.
Myth.
So I get called by my real name and Myth and Taliesin.
yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I've been doing channel stuff all day or I've been streaming or something, and then I go out with some friends who aren't anything to the channel and they're calling me by my real name, it actually jars with me not to be called Taliesin.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
It's a bit,
It's a bit strange because I was an actor as well before I was Taliesin. And it's quite common when you come out of drama school, when you're choosing we call it the Spotlight name.
Nice.
Spotlight is the directory of actors. No, you call it your equity name because equity is the union.
Yeah.
So you have to be registered with equity as a unique name for an actor.
yeah,
so if there's another actor that has your name, you have to think of a new name to register with equity. And that becomes the name that is your stage name.
I see.
So if you've got a common name, like I do, both my first name and my second name are pretty common.
So common.
I was expecting not to be able to call myself that, but I was, and that was great. But I do have friends that had to change their name. Most of them changed their second name, but I knew a few that changed their first name as well. My friend Andrew became Henry Reuben.
I love that.
Yeah, which is great. But it is really weird because now he's got two names.
Yeah.
And you don't know what to call him. I don't want to insult him by calling him Andrew if he's Henry Reuben now.
Yeah.
But I don't want to call him Henry Reuben because it sounds like I'm taking the piss.
It's true.
Out of his stupid name that he chose himself. It's not stupid Reuben Henry, not Henry Reuben. See, he's Andrew to me. He'll always be Andrew. But no, Reuben Henry, it's a beautiful name. I like it very much, but you'll always be an Andrew to me. His dear friend came to our wedding.
Yeah.
Watches the channels. Maybe he's watching this.
Yeah,
Who knows?
lovely.
So yeah, the answer is yeah, we do that all the time.
Next one is from Matilda Tolan. Hey there. This coming fall, my little sister is moving over to London from the frozen wastes, aka Sweden, to attend a drama school and most likely pursue a career as an
Wow.
actress after that.
Just talking about that,
Amazing,
weren't we?
right? So I was wondering if you two have any advice for her, as I'm trying to fulfill my duty as the older sister to prepare her as much as I can. Lol.
Oh man, she's not going to listen to advice from us. We're too
No,
old.
we're so old.
There's nothing we can tell her that she's going to care about. We're just going to be the adults giving her advice that she's going to completely ignore.
Yeah.
Like I ignored everyone's advice.
Yeah, I bet you did.
My advice would be move to Peckham. It's where all the cool kids live.
Yeah. And also, speaking as someone who isn't an actor and has no training in acting or being an actor or anything along those lines, just London is a really cool city full of weird and exciting opportunities. I don't know if this is the case with acting. I imagine it is. I imagine it's maybe a little bit competitive. But London is also cool, and you will find shit here.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And my advice, so I guess you've got better advice for kind of moving to London.
Yeah.
Because I didn't study here. I came here afterwards
Yeah.
when I was already an actor. But I can give some good advice about drama school, and that's to accept everything that's given to you on its own terms. I feel like we go to drama school a lot with a lot of expectations as to what it's going to do for us. And I got loads out of drama school, but it was completely different stuff than I thought I was going to get. The stuff that I expected to get out of drama school, I didn't. And the stuff that I did was stuff that I never expected. So I wish that it had taken me a shorter amount of time to realise that and to be able to accept what was being given to me on its own terms and not trying to make it what I wanted it to be. Which is probably good advice about learning
Good
anything.
advice, generally, I think.
Oh, maybe. But wow, she's going to have an awesome time.
Yeah.
It's going to be brilliant. She's not
lucky
even
little
here yet.
sis.
Yeah, and London for drama school must be really exciting. Because I went to drama school in Bristol, which was an incredibly, and very specifically sort of isolating experience.
Yeah.
In my drama school at the time, there were only like 12 people per year.
Wow.
So if you had a party, you had to invite everyone in the school to your party. Otherwise, you didn't have enough people for a party. Like if you were going out, you had to invite everyone in your class. Otherwise, you wouldn't have enough people to go out with.
Yeah.
And so you were literally living in each other's pockets for that long. And it's Bristol. It's only a small place. So, very different experience in London, I imagine. I liked that kind of isolation a bit. It was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Aw, well, good luck to her.
Yeah. Love to hear how it all goes. Clayton Clark, friend of the channel, dearest friend of the channel. Wait a minute, what's going on? Here we are.
That
you
way.
are,
There you go. There you go. Clayton says, "What are some stupid things you do together as a couple?" A shorthand language.
We've got this YouTube channel, and honestly, man,
genuinely,
it's ridiculous. It's so dumb. It takes up like all of our time. It's all we ever talk about. Like, it's basically where all our friends are from now.
Yeah, it's the weird thing I bring up in stories
Yeah.
at work. It's like, oh,
It
what's
means-
the weird thing you do with your husband?
It
It's
means
like,
when I
well,
go and meet like Evie's IRL work friends and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
they all look at me funny.
Yeah, they're all like,
Yeah, seriously, because like it was really funny. Literally, last time I went out with your work friends,
yeah,
you just done a presentation about the channel and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll come out with you guys. It'd be fun. And we just met at this bar, and they were all like, oh, it's the YouTube man. It's like, yeah, and she's the YouTube lady.
yeah, but you're the YouTube man.
I guess so.
A shorthand language, insults that only the two of you get, compared to inanimate objects or puns. For example, my wife said my family tree must be a cactus because everyone on it is a prick.
Nice.
Well, she's
I
not
think that's
wrong.
nice.
That's
I
nice.
think that's nice.
A friend of mine uses these with her husband. You're like sunglasses, all you give is shade. You're like a hot pocket. You're hot on the outside and cold on the inside.
You all sound horrible.
So I
like
know
it.
you're not the only couple. It sounds terrible to someone on the outside, but it's actually pretty damn funny to us. It's our way of how we get to each other.
Yeah.
I get that. I think we must do a ton of stuff.
Well,
that no
I'm
one
trying to think, but
understands.
I think that like the things like that we have together
Yeah.
are not the things that we say. They're very explicitly the things we don't
They're
say.
the things we don't say, and they're the ways we look at each other.
Yeah, I'm sure lots of couples have
I'm
this
sure
as well.
everyone has these things because, you know, you learn about each other. But yeah, no, you're right, because I'm like, what do we say? It's like, oh no, it's the things we don't say.
Yeah, totally.
It's like something will happen that'll make me think a certain thing, and then we'll look at each other and we'll be like,
Yeah, you think it too.
Yeah.
And it happens like multiple times a night, and it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be a kind of a,
No,
it's literally just a,
Yeah.
and it can be from anywhere in the room.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like...
And it's usually, this guy's a dick.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah. Variations on that.
not when we're meeting people from the channel and stuff like that. Obviously, I mean, like in everyday world.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. No, it's a thing. Yeah, it's that thing where you realize that you're totally on the same wavelength when no one else is, and you're like,
yeah, and just effortlessly on the same wavelength
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, and to be honest, it's been like that since we met.
Yeah.
So I would say rather than, I'm not sure we have any like,
Things that would appear stupid to other people.
when we watch Game of Thrones.
Wait, no, this happens with a lot of TV shows, actually.
It does actually. Yeah. When we watch Game of Thrones, I like to basically sing the Game of Thrones theme tune, sing along with the Game of Thrones theme tune, which is obviously like a lyricless tune, but I give it the lyrics and the lyrics that I give it are Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever tried to fit the words Game of Thrones into every note of the Game of Thrones theme tune. It starts off easy and it gets hard. You go, Game of Thrones, 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 Game of Game. No, I've done it. I've got it wrong. That's exactly. And to keep that perpetual thing going, and I've done that every episode of Game of Thrones that we've ever watched. And like sometimes I make out that I'm not going to do it, but then I do it. I'm like. Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of... I've never done it. I've never done it. To the extent where, before season 8, I actually set myself time in the day to practice it in the hope that I could get it right and surprise you. And you'd be like, you're amazing, you've finally done it. But I could never do it.
Oh, we also have a song for Daredevil.
Okay, Clayton, this is the thing. I sing words to theme tunes.
Theme tunes that don't have... This is really funny, actually.
This is the thing. You've made us discover something about ourselves. We sing words to theme tunes of TV shows that don't have words. So how does the Daredevil music go?
It goes, Charlie Cox.
And then you have to think of stuff that rhymes with, because the theme music for Daredevil goes do 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 like that, and so obviously the lead actors, who is also like a dear friend of mine, Charlie Cox, it sounds like Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
Charlie Cox, off he goes, wearing socks. There's only so many things that rhyme with Cox. Cox does not rhyme with Cox.
Cox does
It's
rhyme
not a
with
rhyme.
Cox.
It's not a rhyme. It's the same word.
Oh
It's
my
not
God.
a rhyme.
Oh my God.
So yeah, there's that.
There's that.
That would be the thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we must have done it to other ones as well.
Yeah, but Charlie Cox was the big one.
Oh, yeah. And the game.
Let's not tell him that when we
No,
meet him
that's
tomorrow.
not.
Let's just keep that one between ourselves.
Oh. Thanks,
Yeah, that'll be
Clayton.
the one, Clayton.
That
That'll be the one. Wow, we've learned something about ourselves there.
Yep.
Right, okay. What kind of strategy persons are you for succeeding in the Tortell and Shell games?
Oh.
What the pair games? I've talked about this at length.
Have you? Oh, okay.
Because I like to do it so that if I can do it, so I'd never. If you don't have to turn over the last shell, you've done it right. Because you work your way. How do you work your way across?
Okay.
From top row left to right, and then second row left to right.
Same. Mm-hmm. But then I also look for the ones that pop out a little bit.
Me too.
Start with those, and then I do from left to right, and I remember what each of them is most of the time. And then it's just going this
because
way.
the StarCraft man in his machine,
he pops out a
sometimes
little bit.
sticks out depending on where he's placed on the board.
Yeah.
Sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah,
It's a bit annoying.
Exactly. That's also my strategy. I'm not a random clicker. I'm a very methodical, 1, 2, 3, 4, left to right,
Yeah.
top to bottom.
But you should never have to turn over a shell more than twice.
Oh, exactly. Oh
No.
my god, yeah.
50% of the shells you should only have to turn over once.
Exactly.
Like, and that, if I manage
And
that,
then
that's
you dink. Yeah.
yeah. I know. I take it quite seriously.
Yeah, no, me too. That
yeah.
one I get really serious.
To the extent where I can't do it on stream because I get annoyed because I get distracted.
Oh. Oh.
But no, I have a proper like tactic for the shell game.
Same.
Yeah. And I have a tactic for the turtles getting to the water game as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. But anyway, I hope you're the same, Tim. I hope you take it as seriously as we do. Because then you are a kind of person. Jessica Naylor, hi Taliesin, hi Evertel. Lore-wise, which character has your uttermost respect and which do you despise lore-wise?
Oh. Well, shall I go first?
Yeah, go.
I have a lot of respect for Sourfang.
Yeah?
I do.
You don't think he's a dirty traitor man?
No, because I think he's doing the good, right thing.
Okay,
I have a
fair
ton
enough,
of respect for Sourfang. And for realizing that things were going wrong and it doesn't align with his vision of the Horde, which is the vision of most people's Horde, to be
Don't you
honest.
disrespect him for going along with it all in the first place, though? Do you think it took too much for him to turn?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I feel like he was really pushed to his limit and then he made that decision, and I respect him for that.
Yeah, okay.
Which do you despise? I really don't like Nathanos.
Is that just because of his comedy voice, though?
Yeah, I think I just find
Because the character
him,
should be really
he
fascinating.
should be really interesting. He's an undead boy toy to Sylvanas.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
Apparently they've had a relationship and they're like
The
together.
short story is brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
Dark Mirror.
Yeah, but
Um,
I just don't like him at all, and I just feel like I just think he's a bit boring and he's a bit lame and he's a bit evil and
I don't think he's evil. He's just the ultimate Sylvanas fanboy. But the thing is, you assume he's evil because the voice is telling you that he is evil.
yes,
Like, exactly. He's got like a proper comedy, like, baddie voice,
Yeah.
which is only outdone by Lorthamar's new voice.
oh god.
How did we get here? How did we get here? How did we get from peace be with you, warrior,
Yeah.
to no, come over here? Like, proper baddie voice.
Really, really.
And the
bad.
Thanos is the same. It's like, well,
Well,
I think
like,
I don't think things are going to go well for you, hero.
Yeah, exactly. And
yeah,
I think that's why I really hate him, because I'm like, well,
I don't think he's actually done anything bad in the law to
Yeah.
make you despise him.
Yeah.
It's just his voice.
I think
is
it's
the
his
reason you don't like him.
voice, and I think if his voice actor was a little more like sexy towards Sylvanas and just sexy towards the world in general, I'd be
Yeah.
like,
He needs to be more sexy towards the world in general.
yeah,
You need to be more sexy towards the world.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't despise you.
exactly.
Because that was the despise.
Yeah, I
despise.
really don't like him at all. To the point, it's not that I'm neutral. I'm just a bit like, he just really annoys me.
Interesting.
What about you?
Lore-wise, it implies big lore, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because I want to say Rosalind again, because she's just so great. Like, I just really like her. I really like how when you meet her, she's just awesome, and she's got really good voice acting. I know that's not much, but I really like in the Kultiran Allied Race Unlock quests, where you go along and you're like, we need you to be first mate on our ship, and she's like, no.
Yeah.
Why would I
Not
do
me.
that? I'm a captain. And then you're like, you can kill some horde, and she's like, well, why didn't you say so? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like Runus has my respect lore-wise.
Runus is a great character.
I like the way that you think he's going to
Love him.
betray you,
Love him.
and he doesn't.
He doesn't. And
He's just
really-
thankful for having a friend at the end of it.
Yeah.
If I could bring back one character,
Yeah.
it would be him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I'd have a quest line where you hunt him down and you like rescue him from being, because now no one needs to be, you know,
Yeah.
what are they called, the junkies anymore. No one needs to be them.
Yeah, yeah.
So we could rescue him now.
Yeah. Oh my god, sorry, can I throw one in?
Mm-hmm.
A character who has my uttermost respect is Grong.
Oh, Grom. Yeah, I choose Grom.
He gave everything and then he became this like husk.
And his voice lines are so what? It's
His-
not voices.
yeah,
his
his
like
actual
speech lines are
speech
so
lines are
good.
So amazing.
Yeah, and he's all like joking because he's so nervous and stuff.
Exactly.
And then he's just like, I just hope it doesn't turn me into a mindless beast. And it does turn him
it
into a mindless
does,
beast.
and
And
he
then he's
does.
useless anyway.
Yeah, and then he is, and you kill him.
He'd have been so much more useful not being like
I
genetically
know.
modified. So sad.
I have a lot of respect for Grong.
Yeah, me too. I like Grong. And he gave me a good cloak.
Yeah. Gave me some cool stuff. Who do you despise?
I'm not going to say Sylvanas because I don't.
No, me
Like
neither.
lore-wise, I actually respect her a lot. I think she's really cool,
Yeah.
and I don't like what she's doing, but I don't necessarily disrespect it.
Yeah.
Partly because this isn't real life.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there was a Sylvanas like figure in real life, in the same way that I wouldn't really like Al Pacino's character in The Godfather very much in real life.
No.
He's obviously a monster
Yeah.
who deserves to be put in jail forever and have no friends. But in The Godfather, I like him because he's an interesting character in a work of fiction.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say, oh my god, they really screwed Corleone. They really screwed Al Pacino's character just because they made him evil. Like, that's literally the interesting thing about him, is him
Yeah.
becoming evil
Yes.
and like doing terrible things.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel the same way about Sylvanas. It's like been really interesting to watch her go further and further and further.
Oh, yeah.
So no, I wouldn't say that. Do you know something that's going to really piss everyone off?
What?
You know a character that I've never ever respected?
Who?
Arthas.
Wow.
And no one's going to like me for this, but because I never liked him in the first place. I never liked him when he was good.
Right.
I didn't get the tragedy of him falling. Because for me,
Interesting.
I never liked him.
Okay.
For me, like from the second he arrives in Warcraft 3,
Yeah.
I'm like, who's this annoying dick?
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
What? Like Uther is cool,
Yeah.
and like Jaina is cool,
Yeah.
and then you got Arthas, and then Arthas is like, I'm the quarterback.
Yeah,
you
a little
know,
bit,
I'm
a
the
little
prince,
bit, a little
and
bit.
like because I never warmed to him in those opening moments.
That's
I
interesting.
never got the tragedy of him falling,
Very
and I appreciate. And
interesting.
I'm sorry that I missed out on like what everyone describes as the best, and I would agree,
Mm.
particularly going into WoW as well, as the best story arc in Warcraft,
Mm.
and I get that. But because I never respected him as a character, I never felt bad for him when it went bad.
Very interesting.
And for me, him doing the stuff he did was the most obvious thing that could happen. Because for me, I was like, yeah, of course he's going to make these stupid decisions. Of course he's going to keep on making stupid decisions, like to try and rectify the stupid decisions he's made.
Right.
Which is a thing
Stuck
that
in a cycle.
a
of
lot of
stupid
Warcraft
decisions.
characters do, which I actually really like. Because
Yeah.
I think it's actually a really human thing to do.
Yeah, I think
They
so.
keep making mistake after mistake after mistake to try and rectify their mistakes.
Yeah.
And they do it in quite unrealistic ways. They go, oh my goodness, I've accidentally got all the demons to do this.
Yeah.
So the only way I
Oops.
can fix this is to get this magic skull and to do this. So like that's not very relatable, but like the motivation behind it
Yeah.
of like doing more bad things to try and make up for the bad things that you've done and to
Absolutely.
put them right. Because
I think
that's what
very
Illidan does
real.
as well.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He does.
and,
He's pretty shit.
yeah, seriously. Yeah, so I'm going to cause controversy, and I'm going to say Arthas is the guy that I don't respect.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I like him more when he's the Lich King than I do when he's like Arthas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Quite a lot more. Let's have time for one more.
All right.
Sheep-a-lot. Sorry, I don't know why that tickled me so much. Hey, Tierney, the huge statues of hooded figures outside the Dark Portal, the Altar of Storms, and even in the Black Temple seem significant to the lore somehow. I can't seem to find any consensus on what they depict. Theories. As far as I know, because I'm the same as you, and I've looked into this because it is fascinating, there is no consensus.
Okay.
They are because the Dark Portal ones, they were carved by like orcs,
Oh yeah.
and they're clearly not orcs.
No.
And
They're
they're clearly not
just
Draenei. Yeah,
figures.
they're just figures. So it's difficult, isn't it?
I think it's okay. I think you're allowed to have like a hooded figure. It's nice because they're anonymous. They don't have to be any one race. They are just, these kind of symbols of mystery.
Yeah. But I think there is no answer to that. Any answer we gave you would be sheer speculation because officially there's no answer, which is annoying, isn't it? It is
I
annoying.
quite like it. I
Yeah?
like that it's no
What
one.
if you had to think of something that they were? What would you say? I know I've put you in an impossible situation there, and I apologise. That's what they call in the trade a hospital pass. That's a hospital pass I just gave you there.
Yeah. I don't think they are just titans.
Ooh, they could be well, okay. So my thinking would be, if I had to think of something, I would say that obviously it's kind of demonic forces that have made themselves known to like Gul'dan and Medivh and what have you. So I guess it's some kind of demon-y thing. The demon that kind of tells them how to do it.
Okay.
So whoever they're kind of communing with.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'd imagine, and the fact that they are on Dark Portal and Black Temple would seem to suggest that they are kind of demonic.
That makes sense.
In some way.
That
So
makes sense.
that's what I would go for. It's a shame. Do you know where would have been the perfect place to explain them?
Where?
The Portal Keeper fight in Antorus the Burning Throne.
Of course.
How cool would it have been, right? If one of those portals that you went through in, I forget her name, but the Portal Keeper fight.
Isabel?
Yeah. Because in the original fight, they were obviously supposed to take you to different planets, those portals.
Oh, yeah.
In the end, they took you to different platforms that they coloured in different ways with different demons. But clearly, when that fight was devised, they were supposed to take you to different planets.
Yes.
And they would probably have used like the same planet kind of graphics as the planet invasions that you do in Legion as well in 7.3. Clearly, for whatever reason, they couldn't make that work. They couldn't do it. And it didn't happen. It was a real shame because clearly that's how it was written. You're supposed to go to different demon homeworlds, and the idea is that you are shutting off the portals to those homeworlds.
Right.
So the Legion, they're not part of the Legion anymore.
Yeah.
Because like this is where they all congregate through these portals and into Antorus, and so the idea is you're going through each one of these portals and you're wiping out demonic allies one by one. That's what you're doing. Like that's the whole really interesting story behind that fight. It's like
not a bad story.
Such a fascinating raid, and no one gets that because of course when you go through those portals, you're not actually going to these worlds, and it's so annoying. But how cool would it have been if you went through one of those portals and you were in this portal world with these hooded figures who were making the portals all happen?
Nice.
Or if, like, the portal keeper had one of those hooded figures, like, hooked up to a machine and it was him that was powering the portals or something.
Freaky.
How cool would that have been?
Wow.
And that would have been, like, it wouldn't have really explained anything, but it would have kind of explained loads of stuff. Which is my favourite kind of explaining.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Personally, I just think they're generic, like
keepers
of the threshold.
But how cool would it have been if they'd done that in that fight?
That would have been cool. I admit, it would have been really cool.
That's a good place to finish. That was such a good idea that I just had 2 years too late. Why didn't I think of that before? Anyway, guys, thank you. A good hour of questions there. We'll try and come back sharpish. And we're catching up.
We're getting there. Oh my god!
We are catching up. There's only a few more questions left on here. We do, of course, have all of the questions on the Discord as well.
Yeah, we do.
So if you are a patron, which obviously you are because you're watching this, you can leave questions in our Q&A.
Pop them in there.
And you often go through that answering questions.
I go through them. I post some answers. I save some for answering.
Oh,
later.
do you? Okay, I hope you've got some for the next one because we're running out of questions
plenty.
here. And also, we will link the this thread that we're taking the questions from in the Patreon side description of this video, so you can click on it on this Patreon post that this video is in,
click
and
on
it will take you to this, and
here.
you can comment on this thread, and we will get to this question. But we will be taking ones from the Q&A section of the Discord soon, as well. Guys, it's been so nice hanging out with you, catching up with you. Can't wait to read some more of your questions. Can't wait to chat with you in Discord now we're back properly as well and getting settled as well. Classic is happening.
Classic's here.
8.2 should be happening
Can't wait.
soon. What's your prediction for 8.2? When do you think it'll happen? When do you think it'll come?
Within the next month.
I'm getting nervous. It needs to be soon.
It's definitely in the next month.
Why isn't it here though?
Yeah, but like when do you think it's going to be?
I don't know, man. If it's not in July, if it's not in June, I'm going to be really upset. If it's not in early June, I'm going to be really upset.
I mean, it is already kind of past early June.
If it's not before mid-June, I'm going to be really upset.
Okay.
But I don't think it is going to be.
I think it's going to be like late June.
It's too late for me. It's not too late as in I don't care.
I know what you
but
mean.
It's like
really
it's past the point of like when it would have been really good.
It really would have helped.
Yeah.
I'm still like artifact level nothing, so
the thing is, right, the longer it goes on, the more chance I've got of actually getting, because I'm on like 48 now,
I know.
and I'm very close to 49, so
Okay.
I'm so close to 50,
Okay.
and that part of me wants it to be a couple of weeks down the line.
Do you think they're just waiting for you?
No, God, I hope not, because otherwise
imagine
we're talking
everyone's
August,
like...
mate. We're talking August. Anyway, hope you're all doing well, and we will see you again next time. From me, Taliesin,
and me, Evitel, and Fuji-san.
Cheerio.